Reloading!
Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Mr. Rain, and today I am looking at the new CTE environment that Insurgency Sandstorm has just released. This CTE includes a few things, a few minor fixes, a few new animations, but let's go ahead and look at the big deals, or the big features that are coming to this game real soon. One of them is a brand new map called Outskirts, formerly known as Compound. So if you ever got confused as to what is what, Outskirts is Compound and vice versa. And essentially it's a neat map that has like a small village next to some larger buildings, and then of course the destructive construction site that you get to play in. And there's a few cool spots on the destroyed building that you can actually look at, and since it's at an angle, gives you this very weird feeling. Vertical I guess it would be, but either way, it's a pretty cool effect. It's a pretty cool idea of a map. Outside from the map, we also got a new game mode, and that game mode is called Co-op Hardcore, and the idea is to make the game run, or make your character feel a lot slower. Your animations are slower, and just give you an extra challenge as to how to play the game. It's not so much as how it is now in current co-op, where you can just run around, you're always going to have your weapon and so on. In this one, you spawn with your gear, and then if you die and you get respawned, you spawn with a Mosin, a Makarov, and a grenade, and that's it. Or not even a grenade, it's a smoke grenade that you get. And essentially the whole thing about that is that if you do die, you are punished and you will have to use a Mosin for your first few shots, and then you're going to have to start scavenging from insurgent to insurgent, picking up their weapons, picking up their gear, and then moving on and making, giving yourself a makeshift outfit, makeshift loadout as the round progresses. To keep things even more difficult, this mode only has 1 or 2 supply crates, whereas in regular co-op, you do get a supply crate in every single checkpoint, in every single objective, whereas in hardcore you only get it in 1 objective or in 2 objectives. And this makes it extremely difficult because you have to be able to save up your ammunition, and again, you will have to scavenge for magazines and so on. What they did to kind of ease the pain a little bit is that insurgents no longer use insurgent weaponry. They will also use security weaponry, so they will be running around with an M16, they'll run around with an MP5, things like that, to make it just a little bit easier on you, so you can pick up their gun or their magazines and attach them to your loadout. And now after that, we have one more thing to pick up, which is that there are 2 new sniper rifles in the game. One is the Barrett 50 cal, and the other one is the M99. And the M99 is insurgent side, whereas the 50 cal is for security side. And both weapons, as of right now, during the community test environment, both handle exactly the same. They are extremely heavy, they take forever to aim down sight, and on top of all of that, they have a heavy trigger. So instead of being able to just click and shoot, you have to hold down your click in order for the gun to actually fire. The upside to this gun is that aside from it being a colossal ammo that you're shooting, it is semi-auto, not bolt action, which means you can spam shots if you like. However, it is a 50 cal, both of them are super high caliber weapons. They will have a ton of kick, and it's not going to be impossible, but it's going to be extremely difficult to try and get shot after shot landing on your target. And so that's the new stuff. So let's go ahead and talk about the map. Unfortunately, I was not able to play the map in a versus mode, in either push or firefight or skirmish. Just every time I tried to queue up, it would go on for like 5 minutes and no one would be on, so I wouldn't be able to get onto a server. So I have to leave that portion out until it gets released in-game, into the main game, and in rotation. but I was able to play the game in co-op and also in hardcore co-op, which is what you're seeing here. The map is a combination of long range and close range engagements, and it's really an open map. The person who is developing or laying out the level design for this map is the same person who created the map Tell for Insurgency 2014. And there are a few similarities here and there, especially in the buildings and the way that they're designed. However, it's not extremely close quarters in every single instance like Tell is. There's just like in a lot of modern Insurgency Sandstorm maps, there are open areas, there are open routes, and there are a lot of things that you have to worry about because just how open the map ends up becoming. And since I can't play the game in a skirmish mode or in a firefight mode, I can't tell where exactly those objectives are supposed to be in. But the majority of the objectives that I did play on in co-op are going to be extremely difficult to defend. The reason being is because in other maps, these buildings or these objectives usually have 3 or 4, maybe even 5 points of entry. Whereas in this one, it's almost a full 360 around the entire map, around the entire objective. There are stairways that go underneath and into the objective. There are stairways that go above and into the objective. And it's just a lot of things to have to worry about when going into those more objective-based game modes that you're not going against bots. I'm a bit concerned right now with how the map is designed in regards to those objectives. Again, I can't tell you which ones are for skirmish or firefight because I never got to play those yet. But what I will say is that it's going to be one where it's going to very much make it easier for people to attack in groups against an objective rather than being able to just breach and clear and cover your corners like you typically can now. And that's really it for that map. I can't really say a whole lot of it. It's one of those maps that's designed to be kind of like a labyrinth in the close quarters combats. So it's not so much of staying at one spot and trying to cover a doorway. It's a matter of constantly moving, going from one side of the room to the other, checking your stairways. It's a lot of like a roaming kind of defense rather than just being able to sit down and guard a doorway type of defense. So it's going to very much insist on aggressive gameplay rather than stagnant gameplay. And that is a plus, but also a bit of a minus because, again, it's just going to be really hard to defend the objectives that I've seen. So until I get to actually play them on push or skirmish or firefight, I can then let you know or can give you a better idea as to how those objectives play when you're playing against people and not against bots. But just by the overall layout, I can tell that it's very much designed to be very much towards attacking more than it is defending. So, and that's really it for this video. I can't really say a whole lot more else about it. I mean, the map looks cool. I hope to play it in the future. I hope that it keeps getting developed and we see more of it and more, in different playlists. So that'll be it for this video. Thank you all for watching. I am Mr. Rain, and I will keep you updated whenever Insurgency releases a new update for the game that I deem worthy enough for me to cover. So until then, thank you guys for watching once again. If you like this video, please give it a like, and if you want to see more of stuff like this, please consider subscribing. So until then, see you guys next time.
You all better not be dead!
What? There was a guy right here. What happened?
We got guys on the point.
Ah!